Hey everyone, I'm going to do a quick run through on how to go ahead and start making your book trailer using Microsoft Movie Maker. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind before you even start using Microsoft Movie Maker is to make sure you have all your files in one central location first. So, I recommend that you put everything in the same folder and put it in a folder that you have access to no matter what the computer is. Because the problem is Microsoft Movie Maker only houses bookmarks to those particular files. So even though you see those files inside your Movie Maker screen, they're not actually there. Okay, it's just telling Movie Maker where to find those files on your computer. Okay, so you can put all of your files on the flash drive in one folder. You can put them all in your student drive in one folder, but just make sure you keep that way the entire time. Don't start with the flash drive, move to your student drive, and vice versa. Okay, so here I have all of my pictures in one folder on my staff drive. You can put yours on a student drive or a flash drive if you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and start Movie Maker. If you can't find Movie Maker, all you have to do is click on the Start button in the lower left-hand corner and type in Movie Maker, and it should be right there. Okay, so when you start Movie Maker, the first thing you'll see is this Home tab. Okay, right here is where you'll see your playback. Okay, so if you want to see your clips and your text and the animations and things like that, this is where you'll look at it. Alright, you can use this to play through it. You can use these buttons, but the easiest is just to hit the space bar. Alright, so to start and stop playback, just go ahead and hit that space bar. Alright, where you're going to work and organize all of your materials is on the right hand side right here. Okay, so to go ahead and do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on Add Videos and Photos. Okay, and here you'll see all the pictures that I have for my particular book trailer. So I'm going to go to Organize, select All, and then hit Open. And you'll see that it put all of the pictures that I had in my work area. Now, I picked a book where there was a movie already based on my book, so there was actual people portraying the characters from my book. You might not be as lucky. You might have a book that there never has been a TV show or a movie or somebody in real life portraying your character. So it's really important that you try to find pictures that most closely resemble your theme, your plot, your characters. Okay, so for instance, let's go ahead and look at some things right here. Alright, so if I was in Google and say maybe my main character was a police officer, I can always just type in police officer. And there'll be plenty of images in Google of police officers. Now, make sure that that police officer is actually someone that describes your character. Okay, so maybe he was an old police officer. Okay, so there's some older people right here, so maybe this guy right here. Okay, maybe you don't have a profession that was, you know, very noticeable. Maybe your main character was a run-of-the-mill teenager. Okay, got plenty of other teenager photos. All right, now if your teenager had blonde hair, of course go ahead and put in blonde hair teenager. If your character had a very specific character trait, like they were always angry, go ahead and type in angry, or whatever other character trait you might have. So here's some angry ones. So my point is to try to get as exactly as close to your character as you can. Now it starts to get a little bit more complicated when you do things like plot and theme. So maybe the theme of your book was survival. Okay, and here you'll get tons of different kinds of pictures. And some of these actually might apply to your book, but maybe, you know, something a little bit more general right here where it says survival might be a little bit better. You could even type in survival theme, and you might get something a little different. So try adding the word theme to and see maybe something better comes up. Okay, so maybe the plot of your book, that's a hard one. So what's the main What's the main thing that's going on in your book? Maybe it's a futuristic war, so I could type in futuristic war. And here you have a bunch of other pictures that pop up. So again, try to be as specific as possible in case you don't have a movie or TV show or something where actual people played the characters in your book. Okay? So, now that we've taken care of that, let's go ahead and discuss how we're going to organize these pictures. And before we organize those pictures, sometimes you might find a picture that already has some text on it, but you can right click on that and hit remove because I want to put my own text on these pictures that I found. Okay, so each of you should have filled out a storyboard, and sometimes when you put the pictures inside your area, they're not going to be in the right order. So say for instance, setting had to be my first picture, so I go ahead and put my setting picture over here, and again I just click and drag it to the right location, and maybe the picture of my book happens last, and then maybe my character pictures happen a little bit sooner. Okay, again I can just go ahead and arrange those in any order that I want. And of course you can add different things to those pictures. So when you click on a picture, you'll see a little yellow tab that pops up called Video Tools. If you go to Edit, you can set how long that particular picture stays on screen. However, I wouldn't put any captions on just yet until you're sure that your pictures are as long or as short as you want them to be, because when you start messing with time, it throws off how the words appear on the screen. And here you can get your total time of your project down here. Okay, so if all my pictures are exactly as long as I want them to be, 56 seconds sounds like it's good, I can go ahead and add some visual effects I want. So maybe, you know, your book happened in the past, right? So maybe you want to add an old-timey feel, right? That makes it look even more ominous, right? So you can go ahead and add those particular effects if you want as well. Okay. Now, to add captions, you have to have some sort of text that clues the reader in on what exactly is going on in your particular book. Okay, so to add a caption, all we need to do is hit the caption button and make sure that we're clicked on the photo that we want the caption to appear, and we can just type in a post-apocalyptic Chicago. All right, and I can make this bold maybe so it stands out more. Right, now you might see that it kind of blends in with the background a little bit, so you can always change the color up here under font, or you can maybe move it around in different locations to see if it, looks a little bit better on the screen. That looks not too bad. Or I can go ahead and take away this visual effect so that it appears a little bit better. Okay. When you click on this, you also have some effects of how that text comes on the screen. Okay, so perhaps I wanted it to come through in a sparkle. All right, it's a cinematic kind of view, or maybe I wanted it down here. All right, so there's all different types of animations you can have. So maybe I just wanted to click on there. Okay, and as I play back, there it is. Alright, and say I wanted to add a caption here, and I put a girl struggles to face her fears. And you see that it kind of, the white blended in with the background, so I can just go ahead and move this to a new location. I can select a effect if I wanted to, and so on and so forth. Okay? Okay, the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and cover how to make title slides. So if we go back to this home tab right here and click on the title button, you'll see that it'll put one in the front, and this is kind of, the introduction to your book trailer. Now, you don't even have to necessarily have text there. It's up to the assignment. But I have seen other ones where they don't put any text here, and it's just a black screen that leads into the first picture, because when you start a book trailer, you don't necessarily want the first thing you see to be the picture. Perhaps you want the music to start playing just on a black screen, and then it leads in to this first picture right here. Okay, but you could put text just like you would for the captions. Now, there's also a way to put credits, and to do credits, all you need to do is hit the credits button and it'll put it at the end. Here's where you will need to put your name. Maybe photos courtesy of Google, music courtesy of wherever you got it from, maybe the band who sang the song, so on and so forth. So you can give credit to everything that you used in this particular book trailer. Now the next thing that we have to cover is how you're going to transition from picture to picture. Okay, so if we click on one picture, we can go ahead and go to the animations button. Here you'll see all the transitions that you can do. Okay, you might have more options on your screen, I'm not sure, but you'll definitely have enough. Okay, so maybe I want to do, let's go ahead and do, let's pick reveal. Okay, so here we may not necessarily want it on that first one, but what we do want is to click on the apply to all. We don't want to pick different transitions throughout the presentation, because it's going to distract the viewer. So whatever transition you pick, go ahead and apply that one to all. Alright, and you'll notice that as it goes from picture to picture, you'll see different parts of the book trailer pop up. Okay? Alright, and as always, you can click on that and adjust the duration if you want. Okay? Now, when I clicked on reveal, you'll see that there's tons of different transitions that did appear. So you could, in essence, start with one and then go ahead and change it later if you wanted to do another one. The last thing that we need to add is some theme music to your book trailer. Now, I'll go ahead and share with you some of the music things that you can work with. Alright, MP3s and WMAs are the best type of files to go ahead and work with for music. Here are some free sites to go ahead and look for some theme music. Now, the one I like the best, though, is the one that actually YouTube has for free in their audio library. So here, you'll see tons of different songs and theme music that people have created based on genre, mood, instrument, duration. The mood's probably the best, because you always want your music to match the particular mood that you have. So here I went to dark, because Divergent is kind of dark. And now the particular song that I picked for my theme music was Drizzle the Downpour. So I've already clicked on the download track button, put it in the same folder all of my other media files were. So I can go back up to the Home tab here, go to Add Music, look for the folder that I saved it in. Okay, so there's Drizzle the Downpour, and it'll put it in a new track over here, so it'll be in green with a little music note over here. So it'll try to match it to the length of your project. So if I went to go ahead and start it now, so you get the idea. So go ahead and look for some music that you think fits the theme and the mood of your book. Okay, so I'm definitely going to want to put more captions under here to really explain to the the viewer what's going on in my book, but I don't want to be too explicit, right? So just enough to tease the person into wanting to read the book. Okay, and the last thing that we need to do is to go to save project as. So if we save project as, that's what you want to select when you're working from day to day. Okay, when the movie is completely finished, this is a must. You go to save movie because this puts it in a format that anyone with a computer can watch. Okay, so when you're completely done, click up here and then come down to save movie and then choose for computer. And it'll say MP4, give your movie a name and hit save, and make sure that you're in your student drive when you go ahead and save that. Okay, and then after everyone's done saving, we'll go ahead and move it to a shared folder so that it can be graded and watched by everyone else. Okay, any questions? Feel free to ask me, or go ahead and watch the rest of these YouTube videos, and in the comment section you can hop around to different parts so you don't have to go ahead and watch the whole thing. Okay, thanks.